Hello and welcome to this session of Fortinet Live. Today we're going to talk about the security challenges in this hybrid multi-cloud operating environment that we are all working in. Today joining me is Vincent Hwang from our Fortinet product marketing team. And so, hey, welcome aboard, Vincent. How are you doing today?
Good, not too bad. Thanks for having me, Jonathan.
Yeah, so, I'm hearing a lot from CISOs and CIOs about the challenges in the cloud. It seems as though everybody accelerated their adoption of cloud in the last 12 months during the pandemic. And it all seems like everybody needed to become cloud native overnight to create new and better ways for their customers and stakeholders to interact with their brands. And so it was interesting to me that at the release of this year's Fortinet 2021 cloud trends, we're seeing a lot of the same things that we saw going into the pandemic. A huge amount of concern with regards to security in the cloud, the level of complexity about it, and an overall need just to have visibility and control. I'm actually a little bit surprised by how many people said that they're still grappling with the complexity of the cloud, yet in many ways they've already embraced not only private clouds, but a majority of them are embracing a hybrid multi-cloud environments where they have their own private data centers and private clouds, but more than one public cloud provider as well. And yet, the majority of them are all saying they're still having problems. What are you hearing about out there?
Yeah, absolutely. So hybrid and multi-cloud environments are definitely I think the predominant situation that customers are facing today. And I think, coming into the pandemic and coming out of the pandemic, more customers are realizing the benefits of cloud. But one thing that's clear is they're still trying to figure that out. There's a couple of challenges. You've got legacy applications that are on-prem. Some of this is, they're leveraging new technologies in the cloud. And so it's never a flip the switch overnight. And as a result of that, you have a very fragmented environment and fragmented deployment across all these different things. It's a necessary evil. Cloud is here to stay. Cloud provides so many benefits for our customers. But the challenge right now is figuring out how to address the security challenges and the visibility and operational challenges from a network security and cloud operations level to manage and operate and secure these environments, and trying to do it with in light of just skills gap and resource gaps overall. So these are some of the things that we're hearing very consistently. And I think one of the other things to consider that when I speak to customers that I think is a critical point is every customer is in a different point of their cloud journey. Some are just starting out, some are well versed into it. But despite the maturity or the evolution level that our customers are in, they're all facing the same challenges. It's just, either a bigger scale or smaller scale of these things.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that we're all sort of trying to crawl and walk and run all at the same time. We're on our legacy platforms infrastructure. We're in multiple clouds. It seems to me that there's an embarrassment of riches almost out there, that there are too many tools. And in many ways, when we thought we were moving to cloud computing, we were trying to consolidate. And yet sometimes these customers that I speak with end up with more management consoles, more instances of security products than they've seen. In fact, they have even more complexity now than they did before moving to the cloud. Are you hearing things like that too?
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at our most recent cloud security survey, over 76% of organizations are using at least 2 or more cloud providers, right? And so that's cloud providers. But there's a pretty good majority of these same set of folks also using a hybrid cloud model. I guess I said earlier, not everything can migrate to cloud. Not everything can migrate to cloud overnight, even though there's a desire for that. And so as a result of that, organizations are faced with having to straddle both sides while trying to move fast. So it's a pretty awkward and clumsy motion in some cases. But one of the things to think about, for our customers is, to your point, is that it's not just moving to cloud. The concept of, if you took a stick figure diagram and you draw 2 circles, here's on-prem and here's cloud, and that was probably, what most people think about when they think about migrating to cloud. But as you get into it, customers are realizing, well, wait a minute, I've got different deployments on Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, or some other cloud. There's private, there's hybrid, there's my data center. Then this problem starts multiplying. And then if you fast forward, you already see some customers who are further along their cloud journey starting to think about the concept of edge compute, where it's not just one cloud, it's not just multi-clouds, but it's taking all these clouds and then breaking it down into more regional points of deployments globally, even locally between, say, the East Coast and the West Coast, to make sure that they're delivering the scale and the speed and the performance for the customers. And so you imagine what the IT security operations teams need to do and network operations team need to do. You have the same number of team. Now you've got this greater fragmented technology. You've got this idea of the shared responsibility model where you have different cloud providers having different aspects of technologies and capabilities with different processes and operational procedures and different technologies that they can leverage and integration points. And then you got to figure out how to make sense of all these things and still be efficient operationally, again, in light of all these gaps in resourcing and skills. It's a tremendous challenge. It's not insurmountable, but it is a tremendous challenge for organizations today.
Yeah, it's almost ironic in that we try to consolidate, reduce complexity, and we end up many times with more complexity, more gaps in visibility and control than when we started. The other thing I heard about during the last 15 months has been it's all about creating new, better, more secure ways and seamless ways for customers to interact with brands, and that's been the key to success. And in that Fortinet Cloud Trends report, it noted that accelerated time to market at 53% of the respondents was the #1 goal in terms of moving to cloud computing, especially multi-clouds. The second one was a better, more responsive capabilities for that end user or that customer experience. And then surprisingly, the third was actually saving money and costs. That was the third driver. So everything is being borne through in that research from my conversations, which is all about outcomes. It's all about experiences. And what I'm also hearing is that there's a requirement to optimize and really make sure that the SD-WAN, which is now networking, right? Because we're no longer backhauling traffic back to a central data center. And so SD-WAN now determines quality of service, which is basically the determinant of quality of experience. And then likewise with security, which is highly adaptable and flexible because it's a fabric and it's AI powered, right? And then you have the elastic and highly scalable nature of the cloud. But a lot of CIOs are telling me that if all three of them are not working in sync and there's no integration, all you really get are optimized bottlenecks. And so you may have great network performance, but lousy application performance because you have a gap in visibility there. Or you may have great network and application performance, but your security is not pacing and scaling with the demands. Are you hearing that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And worse yet, I like to. I'm calling it worse yet. It's probably it's probably an overreach, but it is a what we find is that customers today are in pursuit of these operational cost savings and higher level of customer experience because at the end of the day, their lifeblood is the customer and satisfies customers. And so what they wind up doing with all these different multi-clouds and hybrid cloud deployments is when they're in a pinch, they find themselves sacrificing security and efficiency, for sake of customer experience and satisfaction, and and being able to handle some of these network operational things. And so they're willing to deal with maybe gaps in visibility that may lead to some risk. They're okay with dealing with imperfect configurations, misconfigurations, because maybe in some considerations it's a necessary evil and trade-off, but I really don't think it needs to be. I think that there is a way forward for our customers, and there is a way for them to get what they want, deliver the operational excellence and customer experience that they need to do, achieve the cost savings, and leverage the technology that they need to move forward to be to modernize and continue to evolve their organizational needs and kind of meet those needs, and be able to be in control at the same time. That's to me, I think is one of the things that customers really need to sort of, I would say, understand and embrace that you can have your cake and eat it too. And particularly if you think about it from a Fortinet cloud security platform, or using a single cybersecurity platform to kind of help manage and bring things together, it is quite possible. And what are your thoughts there, Jonathan?
I think that I'm hearing the same things. I also hear challenges that, despite everything we just said, just about everybody, some 70+% of the respondents in that survey said they've adopted either a hybrid multi-cloud or a multi-cloud strategy. Only 27% of them said they're on one cloud, right? So I think that it's kind of like a juggling act where we are trying to move forward, trying to plug gaps, trying to deliver outcomes and experiences, all the while juggling security, networking, and compute. What I'm also seeing is that it seems that the majority are on either AWS or Azure. I don't know if you're seeing that as well.
Yeah, so what we're seeing is there's a shift. I think that customers are starting to, as they're getting more experience, understanding what their needs are. I think the first step in cloud, everyone gravitates to one provider, and then as they kind of go through that experience and that cloud journey, they realize, well, these capabilities and these applications are better suited for this one service provider or cloud provider platform. Some are on this one, some on this one. That's why you see in the survey with that 76%, it's on a multi-cloud context, at least 2 clouds maybe, right? So maybe it's an AWS and Azure and GCP, or maybe it's all 3. But I think the thing that comes to me is that as customers are making these journeys, right, their needs, their requirements, and their understanding of how to best leverage cloud specific to their organization changes. And I think this is where cloud is a very personal journey, right? And for us at Fortinet, I think one of the biggest things here in how we kind of help our customers is we're taking the capabilities of the security fabric that we do so well, it's core to our DNA, to help customers leverage and optimize and centralize management and visibility across the network on premise, and then extend that through the cloud on-ramp into the cloud, across clouds, and even within the cloud to help protect them. And more so, so our belief is we help customers secure any application on any cloud.
Yeah.
And what that means is we have the ability to have all various different points of deployment, all the different options across all the cloud providers. So whether you need a hardware or a virtual machine or an integrated approach, it's all about tying all these together and giving customers choices, right? And so sometimes you would say, well, if it's too many choices, it's too many. But I think for cloud, it is the most appropriate strategy, because then as customers realizing their journey, as they're making this cloud of what they need and what they don't need or how they want to shift, then with an adaptive cloud approach, then they're able to then take the solutions they need and have the confidence to be able to know that nothing is throwaway. What they do today with, let's say, the Fortinet adaptive cloud security solutions is not throwaway. They can add to it, modify it, and still bring it back into the security fabric to have that single pane of glass, single point of management, and be able to have consistent policies, which I think is really key. Consistent policies across different deployments is such a tremendous operational security efficiency and cost savings there.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think everyone right now is realizing that the cloud and cloud computing is not a panacea. It's not a silver bullet. You're gonna have ups and downs. But within that research, it said that 78% of all the respondents really wanted a single unified dashboard for security across their clouds. And I think what you just said about that adaptive cloud security model, where it's the same look and feel across a legacy data center and a private cloud to any cloud, covering any application, there has to be that overlay that provides that cross-platform visibility and control. And and all the CISOs I've spoken with in the last year, that's the one thing that they really, really are worried about. It's that gap between what you believe is happening in your ecosystem and what's actually happening in that ecosystem. So for me, the biggest takeaway is that when you're considering a multi-cloud hybrid computing model, what is the common denominator that's going to span LAN, WAN, data center, and cloud edges? And how do you have persistent, you said there, visibility, right? Persistence and visibility and security and control across all these edges. Last word from you, Vince. Well, what are your thoughts?
Well, I think that I'm very excited with the future of cloud and where customers are heading. I think provides tremendous opportunities for our customers, but also it gives us, as Fortinet, the ability to help our customers along the way. We have lots of solutions that said choices to be an advisor and partner, deployment options to be partners with our customers, to be advisors and partners with them along the entire cloud journey. And I think the one thing that I forgot to mention is not only are we making this journey with customers, we're also making this journey with the cloud providers. So Fortinet provides tight integrations on AWS, Azure, GCP, and other cloud platforms and solutions to kind of make this easier. So we have integrated technologies. So if you think about it, with a customer who may use the security fabric with adaptive cloud, then they have the ability to deploy using Fortinet solutions and the ability to know that whatever they deploy and however they want to deploy it, they can seamlessly plug it into a pre-integrated, pre-vetted architectural implementation that Fortinet and the partner cloud providers have done to make this a truly seamless experience. So I'm very excited, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun and a lot of excitement up ahead.
I think you nailed it right there. It's that abstraction, the reduction of complexity and everything from the implementation through lifecycle management across that very distributed environment. I think that's the greatest thing that Fabric really delivers. So, hey, thanks for your time today, Vincent. And really, thanks for your time for joining us for this session of Fortinet Live. My name is Jonathan Nguyen. I'm a field CISO here at Fortinet. Thanks very much. And as always, you can find out more information about the Fortinet Security Fabric and all things about security at Fortinet.com. Thanks. Have a great day.